It's not about spaceships.
The Duel of the Fates. The Duel of the Fates.
It's not about spaceships.
What's up, Wommels? How's it going, everybody? How's it going, Mr. Coffee? How's it going, Star Wars Santa, who's in before the gun, as always?
Talking to the dot.
Yeah. I was about to start the show, and it started doing that weird thing again. I don't get it. It's whenever I have that third window open, it goes weird.
Here's the thing, Jason. You don't have enough Funko Pops.
Is that what it is?
That's the trick. These Funko Pops is what makes all the YouTubes work perfectly. That's the key to proper streaming.
Well, the key to a successful YouTube channel, unlike this one, is to have lots of Funko Pops with neon lights behind you. Mm-hmm. If you're doing music,
Flannel.
you have to have a lot of amplifiers and pedals, but we're not a music channel, so yeah, you have to have a bunch of merchandise to prove. Yeah, you put your dollar where your mouth is.
Being a middle-aged white guy helps. Like, doesn't hurt.
Think so. I think it hurts, actually. I think on that one it might hurt.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about for the algorithm, not for like karmically.
Yeah. But we were going to have a different show today, and then the Star Wars Newsnet Darth Vader stuff dropped, and I was like, I want to talk about this right now while everybody wants to talk about it. And but it allows us to become liars. Daddy, why don't you stick to your word? Why do you lie, Daddy? Because we have one more round of Duel of the Fates stuff, and I just figure this is the last. This is really the last of it. But we ended the last episode on a mystery of what do Wommels look like.
Well, stylistically, it's built that way. You can't, one thing take out,
Wommels look like Jawas from that movie Communion, who abduct Christopher Walken and party with him at the end.
I just imagine they had colored shirts, and it's a missed opportunity for some real Wommels merch.
It's like, well, maybe that was the problem with Wommels. Maybe the dream of the Wommel was too big for our reality, Now,
you know what it was, man, is JJ came in and said, these aren't your daddy's Wommels. Like, these are be the hardcore Wommels.
I think they were like, you know what, let's save this for James Cameron when the new 3D technology comes out. That's when Wommels will finally be ready. It was something like that, I think.
Cameron had Lucas on. Did you ever watch that interview?
Yeah. That was the one where he talks about his little micro world movie for the sequel trilogy.
I just like watching Cameron keep a straight face, like, and I'm the crazy one. Like,
yeah, right. He's like, you know what? The great thing about this guy is that the fact that I make essentially giant naked kitties that are blue, it makes it not weird.
No, it's perfect.
This guy's a trailblazer for guys like us.
Hey man, don't bring your imperialistic attitudes to my sci-fi wardrobes, right? Like,
yeah, pretty much. But so in the last Duel of the Fates episodes, over 6 episodes, we jokingly and seriously analyzed the script, pretty much segment by segment. Takes a long time.
We balanced it out, I thought.
Balanced it out, yeah. And then in the very final penultimate, if I want to be that guy, the penultimate episode of the Duel of the Fates series, we analyzed my notes from the second draft and which just kind of lays out what was different from the leaked draft. And then now we have this concept art stuff that showed up on the Imager, and here it is.
Before we start, really quick, do you think that when Penn from Penn and Teller is on his deathbed, he'll leave a penultimate YouTube or TikTok video? He'll be like, "This is the penultimate."
No,
no. I know it's a cheap shot, but
my hope is that it turns out they were Siegfried and Roy the whole time.
They take their hats off. Ta-da!
Yeah.
We're back. we
It's
brought
us.
the Tigers. We play with the Tigers. Drive the bus game now. That's how
Tiger
we do
didn't
it.
kill me. I just played the fat man for a while.
Did you ever see them play the Desert Bus game? It's like you ever play Desert Bus?
The Angry Video Game Nerd does a really good episode on that shit.
Yeah, it's the Sega CD. My buddy had this. Someone had this thing. I can't remember who had it. But I remember going like, "You drive this? You just drive this thing?
Just drive to Vegas."
It is not even in 3D. It's not like it's 2D.
No, it's that like first Mario Kart style Super Star Wars technology, right? That like emulated
Closer to
2D
Rad
rating.
Racer, if you remember Rad Racer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without the fun radness.
Without the 3D goodness.
Yeah, that never worked.
Yeah,
I tried to make it work.
I wanted it to work. I wanted to believe it worked at times, but it didn't. And fun fact, a young child named James Cameron was playing that and had the idea for Avatar because of it. So
He came out after the Aliens. Hilarious.
yeah, there's just a lot about this reality that you don't know yet. But you will.
That's true.
But you will.
You know, missed opportunity. Matrix realities, like
Matrix
different multiverse visions of They
Oh
could've
no,
jumped in.
we have to do Rob's redactions. Or
Oh
Rob's
yeah,
retractions
let's
or
start
whatever
off
it is.
my retract. So this is where I go and check myself. Like,
Yeah.
I say things on here, and in my back of my head, I'm like, I don't think that's true, because I'm my own guys. I am my own worst critic. If you think I love all this, you're nuts. So it wasn't Saint Vincent that did the SOS ABBA cover. It was Portishead.
Yeah. Yeah, you made me feel like I'm a really big St. Vincent fan who I own even everything on vinyl, and I was like, did I miss this?
When you didn't have the immediate reaction, I'm like, got that one wrong. Right.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I just didn't see it, you know? Maybe I'm a fake fan.
I just know there's gonna be those YouTube warriors are like, and they don't know where Portishead and St. Vincent. All this stuff is wrong. And I'm like,
different.
yes. Yeah, we're all wrong. Right. Like correct. We don't do things correctly around here. These aren't even real Funko Pops. These are
What?
Look at what is this? I'm breaking reality. I know, right?
Oh shit. I'm sorry, everybody. I thought that guy was a real Star Wars fan who dropped thousands of dollars into Funko Pops and he should be on the show. I didn't know he was a faker, a little dirty George Lucas CGI doesn't love practical effects faker.
In my defense, I do have a Turtles ice cream pop. Plastic.
Whoa.
It's not even a real one. It's hard to see. There you go. It comes in.
Wow.
Look at that one.
Wait.
I wish the gumballs you could actually eat them though. But
Okay, you just said it was plastic. I was like, what the hell did what's that company who does the AFA action figure archive? I'm like, did they come up with some way to freeze ice cream in place forever as well? Yeah, I want the Pac-Man one. That was the real one, the Pac-Man one with the gumball.
Look, the big toe was the real one, but they don't make a big toe.
Gross.
So.
Who wants to put a big toe? Well, I know somebody on Twitter.
Me and Quentin.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. Here's what's her name? So here's some dirty feet ice cream in a movie theater. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So what we got?
Yeah.
Cons?
Well,
Wait. What is that? What are you drinking?
What?
What is that?
This?
Yeah.
It's a
what is
Phantom
that?
Menace.
Phantom Menace? Is that a knockoff? I don't trust anything about you now that I
bro, I myself am in that. This isn't the real Rob. I'm the cheapo Rob. Like the high quality Rob is out there actually earning a living. This is the fake internet. As seen, I used to at conventions, I used to put that, as seen on TV, I'd put as seen on the internet.
Yeah.
Right. And then at underword, I put asterisks at underword barely.
Barely. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get much play.
Right. Yeah. I just like that somebody's gonna think those behind you are like real. They're gonna think
who did? My buddy who couldn't believe I was on the podcast because he follows you. He's like, this is my friend for 20 years, man. He goes, well, I know Rob doesn't own those kinds of toys. Can't be Rob. I'm like, he's a visual effects like fan like me. We read all the Cinefex. His brother, actually his cousin, is one of the main riggers. He's done Lord of the Rings, Avatar, like all the major films, you know. And I'm like, you don't understand the concept of a blue screen, or
this is foreshadowing him running somebody over, and this clip being used in the manslaughter trial, because it turns out his eyes are going out and he can't see on the phone.
I started having like Zoolander flashbacks, but Robert isn't that big. He's not that tiny. It's a 1-inch guy. How does he fit? It's just so small.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the orbital ring, right?
Right. So my first like thought on some of these modern versions of concept art for these movies
Yeah.
is because they have so many of these films, I guess, to get through, they just seem to be less artistic now and more like really quick previs. Does that make sense? Like animatic previs, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely seems like there is a different amount of intensity that goes into them. And I think that I think things might graduate. Like this is like impressionistic. It's about color. It's, you know what I mean? And vibe. And then I think if they had decided to continue it, then they end up doing a much more, maybe even a version done with using CGI stuff. And then we end up with the final painting that's done for the art book. That's not what they used to make the movie.
The art book ends up with all the good images.
Yeah.
The way, I mean, it did describe it like it was a central piece, and the Star Destroyer stuck out of it like a spike ring, right?
Like a punk bracelet.
Yeah, this does not look like a punk bracelet.
Wait,
like
scroll down just a baby bit, because I think these have like description, which is why I wanted to use this one. Yeah, Star Destroyers over the planet Quat.
Yeah,
which is not the C word, you guys. It just sounds like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I like it though. I mean, it's nicely done, but I'm also not like, I needed to see that on screen. I miss it. We never got
not
it.
the strongest visual.
All right, so this one is Stormtroopers walk among a migrant worker village on Quat. So that kind of gives us a somewhat of a vibe. Is that kind of has a real what do you call it, like junk trashy planet kind of thing? Are those like womp rats right there?
Emaciated, you know. These look like little chicken walkers. Look at those little ATSC. Look at those. They're Mitch size, bro.
Yeah.
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 Like they got the roaches from Joe's apartment. They're running them. You know? What's up, Joe?
Yeah.
Maybe they're Wammel sized. It's possible.
Yeah, that could be. All right. So this right here, BB-8 infiltrates the First Order station on Quat. So if you guys remember, like, yeah, it opens with him like rolling out, and then he like gets scratched, and it reveals his true colors underneath, and it's like, uh-oh. And
the Cyndi Lauper song starts in
True Colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the acoustic version, you know?
Right.
Yeah. I'm waiting for that Portishead cover of that song. That should happen.
You mean the St. Vincent one?
Look, it's all some chick singing slowly. All right, let's just stop it.
See, I think you need to revisit some St. Vincent, because she...
Every time you say that, I think of the movie with Bill Murray. So, you know, like, just chill.
If that's what you think of, then you definitely need to revisit St. Vincent's discography.
It's apparently, but it definitely has that, you know, Johnny Five, when they had those masks, the Nova masks on before they would come off.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like I don't know. I guess I should say I'm a little surprised by the fact that I love BB-8, but I don't think I actually love any of the alternate BB-8s that they've ever made. Like, it just doesn't really like ever like connect to me. And this one makes sense. This one's fine because it's like a disguise. This is the Snuva Chewbacca of BB-8s. You know,
they just replaced the head, and they're like totally different droid.
Totally different guy. Yeah, that's like my other question was like how is that gonna work? Like how is the fake head gonna work in this? Is it just like snap off and then it's BB-8's head, or well,
Yes,
I'm
they just rip
overthinking it.
his head off.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah, so Rey, Finn, and Poe fight their way to the Eclipse Star Destroyer. Yeah, and there we see in this version the double-bladed lightsaber is revealed right away. At least in like the concept piece for it. How do you feel about the double blade concept for heroes?
For Hero, well, it was originally in Tales of the Jedi,
Mm-hmm.
the Dark Horse cover, right?
And the
So it was
Onderon story. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm not against. I mean, she's also someone who's like in this version of the story is pulling between light and dark.
Yeah.
You know, I
True.
visually, I think like it would be weird if it was one red, one blue. I don't like that concept.
That would be ugly.
Yeah, I don't much like that. I do also think, and this is just me, but the sabers have become like as thick as the Return of the Jedi lightsaber toys back in the day now.
Right.
The blades. And I do prefer a thinner blade.
Right.
Like I'm just always been like that Macquarie kind of style, or even in Empire when like Vader's holding that thin tip of the blade to Luke's face.
Yeah.
Like that looks more impressive to me than the big tube blades.
Big two blades. Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling that has to do with being able to get that practical light on set, you know, and with what they had at the time anyways. But anyways, what I was gonna say was I'm not really down with the concept of good guys with the double blade. You could say it's efficient and make an argument for that or whatever, but it does feel like it's too offensive for a religion whose basic like tenet is we are offensive or defensive only.
But story wise, if she's not part of that religion and she's doing her own thing, where again she's more like a Yojimbo character than, you know.
But you end up running into a wall if she becomes that later on, right? Like that's what I guess like that's what I don't like.
No, I don't think any more than a wall than when Luke force chokes Gamoran guards.
Well, no, because you're not
and chokes out dudes.
But you're not stuck with Luke choking dudes out. Like this though, like basically it would mean Rey has a double-bladed lightsaber, a very offensive weapon. Then when she becomes the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the series, she has to either lose it and then people complain because they liked it because it's badass. And see what I'm saying? Like I feel like it should stick with the bad guys. And like there's one guy in the Clone Wars who Krell, who's like a Dexter Jetster alien, and he has two of them, and it's pretty badass. But he also is a Jedi going to the dark side, so I was okay with it in that instance.
I hear you.
Yeah.
My disagreement with it is once you have a character like Grievous that has like a million lightsabers that spin around, like all sense of like rationality with who has what sabers it goes out the window.
Well, yeah, but he's not a
General
Jedi,
Grievous with I don't care, but he's a Jedi surrogate, and he's a dude who wields a million lightsabers and just comes at you with spinning blades everywhere. I mean, why not just make a droid that spins a bunch of lightsabers everywhere too? I hear you.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to be aggressive, but at the same time, like if every Jedi is the same, then if every bad guy is the same, how are they individuals? You know,
my analogy is it's like giving a cop who's supposed to keep the peace an AK-47. Like that's my analogy. That's how I feel about it. But like that's what it says. Like the visual language says to me.
But she has a blaster, so if you have a blaster, I don't see what the difference is.
Yeah.
Until she loses that blaster, she ain't a real Jedi. That's how I feel. Like,
yeah, that's true. And it is pretty badass the way when like Luke Skywalker has the blaster like in his hand on Bespin and he has like the lightsaber on his belt. It does look pretty cool.
Yeah. But he has to lose that blaster. Matter of fact, let's be honest. If we're going to go by Yoda's way of teachings, you got to drop the lightsaber too. You don't need that shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kind of what Luke did. I actually like paid attention to this because of what we could expect from Luke in the sequel trilogy. I was like, I never really noticed, but after he throws his lightsaber down, he does have it again at the end of the movie.
Yeah, well, he's not going to leave it there.
Well, no,
put
but
a lot of effort into that.
Well, he could have. I mean, he could have thrown it down, and then he had to drag Darth Vader's fat ass across the Death Star. So he could have been like, well, I just left it there,
in Luke's defense, if Vader got heavy, he could just cut him up.
Yeah, he's like, you know what, Daddy, your legs aren't real anyway, Daddy.
Look, the only party that's human is the center anyway, so I'm just gonna carve out.
Yeah. Daddy, Darth Vader, Daddy Darth, Obi-Wan did this to you, not me, okay?
You imagine it it harkens back to that Qui-Gon scene in The Phantom Menace where Luke goes and he just cuts through the piece that he needs.
He's like,
and he puts him on his back.
Let me look upon you with my own eyes.
Hold on, you gotta be on my back first,
He's like, okay, now let me give you a hug. He's like, oh, sorry, Dad, I cut off your arms and legs because you were heavy. Oh, okay. Where's Padme? Oh no! Oh
no! Trust me, when this is all over, you're gonna be on fire. You're not gonna need those legs anyway.
He's all, Daddy, I'm gonna finish what Obi-Wan started. I'm gonna light your ass up. That's the kind of shit they would be saying if Return of the Jedi came out today and it was leaking. They would be like, oh, so what? So he fucking burns him like Obi-Wan? God!
Yeah, well, Michael Arndt was for this. It was originally a scene in Little Miss Sunshine. It was Little Miss Fire Pit. But we had to cut that out, yeah.
Yeah, Steve Carell was afraid of fire.
And the Riddler was like, that's right, burn him.
All right, let's look at the next picture. All right, yeah, this one I kept trying to use as a featured image in this series, but it doesn't work because she's so centered. I was like, damn it, where do I put the writing? No, you can't tell it's a lightsaber.
Blade looks a little too long. I get what they're doing for the compositional effect, right?
Yeah. That's all
more
about
just a composition, but
impression. Like it's like same thing with the open Luke flap. Like a part of me goes, they weren't really going to do that, were they? Another part of me goes, no, that was like when they did the Force Awakens concept art and Kylo Ren wasn't designed, they put Darth Vader in every single piece as Kylo Ren. Because the idea was
a placeholder.
Yeah, if it looks right with Darth Vader, then it's going to look right with Kylo. If Kylo looks right, and so I kind of get the like logic, and I think that's what this is. If it wasn't, I would have hated this costume though. And she doesn't look. I don't think the character looks good in this black kind of thing.
Really. I don't know. Like I think if you put a Knives Out shirt underneath that flap, you can just see Ryan. Knives.
I mean, it is a fact according to MakingStarWars.net that evil Rey is hotter than normal Rey. So I will say that part is true.
Right. If this were like typical Hollywood, she'd have the gray streak in her hair, right? Like just to show, right? The Cruella or the Anna Paquin rogue.
She's like, look, Hux, I got it too. Now what? Because remember in the first draft, Hux has his Holden Caulfield gray hair now.
Right. He's got the one.
Yeah. Read also soon. All right. Yeah. Not much to say about this one. Those stormtroopers don't look alive. Rey, Finn, and Poe destroy the orbital ring above Quat and still an Eclipse class Star Destroyer. So that's what it was going to look like, huh? For some reason,
the orbital ring, the ring goes around the entire planet like Unicron, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't love the setting of that.
Yeah, that Eclipse class Star Destroyer is a West End Games thing, if I remember right. It's one of those things where you get those ship scale comparisons, and you look at the designs, and you're like, clearly Lucasfilm didn't design that.
All I know about that stuff is like I'll walk into a comic book store and a bunch of guys huddled around a table all turn and look at me and stare at me, and I look at them, and then I come in and I grab the comic book and I look at them, and then I pay and I look at them and they look at me and I walk out, and then they go back to what they were doing.
They're like, it's a 6D system. It's elegant. Like, we don't need your stupid 20Ds.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, it's 40 chess. But okay, let's move on then.
Ugh.
Okay. Oh shit! On
Wammels.
Moorband, Wommels treat a near-death Kylo. So there's our Wommels. They look like Tusken Raider babies, honestly.
Or they got like the little Vader stick out with the helmet, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
They kind of, like I said, they remind me of like little people as Tusken Raider babies. But I mean, just look at the gratitude and look at Kylo's hand. He's like, "Thank you guys. I feel so
This is his-
indebted to you."
This is actually his opera ballad moment. He's going, "Thank you,
Wobbles.
Wobbles," you know,
Yeah.
and then we hear the whole song.
Yeah, it's like a whole. It was what was that guy who wrote the Force Awakens music? Who did Hamilton? They got him back.
Then Miranda. Yeah, but Adam
Lin-Manuel
Driver
Miranda.
doesn't sing, so they got Russell Crowe to do the voice because he's a much
Yeah.
better singer.
I have to say, I am happy to see a Wammel, to know, but also I am so disappointed in the Wammel.
Well, I
Wammel.
want the made-for-TV animated 80s cartoon version of the Wommels where they all got different colors. You know, like the ones that would appear in a Bad Batch episode, so we can tell them all from, this is the good one, that's the bad, that's the surly one. You
That
know?
one has glasses. He's smart.
Yeah. That one has blonde hair. That's the binary, non-binary Wommel, you know? Like,
Cool
who
one.
knows?
Yeah.
That's the one who's trying to skip out on joining the war. That's
Oh no. A
Yeah.
Wammel deserter?
yeah.
Baloney, you writing this shit down?
Well, you know, it has its roots in the first the 9/11, so whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, but so that's where that was going to happen. Okay. Kylo Ren receives a new mask.
Look at
And-
samurai like, right?
Yeah, they were that the hook is the same as the Darth Vader one that puts the Darth Vader mask on him, on Vader on the Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
Both get it, understand why they did it, but also wouldn't it be kind of silly if it turned out that Darth Vader's like machine thing wasn't just some like, you know, industry grade like tech from a hospital that they have to put on Star Destroyers for him, and it's like, no, it is a Sith latch from Sith technology, long lost to the galaxy. Only it can put a helmet on my dome.
It's as seen on Sith TV tech.
Right.
You know, like this is something you get on Sith VC.
As George Lucas intended. Yes. Yes. All right.
Yeah. All right.
What else we got here? All right. So Rey meditates and trains with the Force Ghost Luke on the planet Korlev. So all right, look at Luke over there, it's hiding in the shadows, doing his Luke thing.
He's like, this is what I look like when they came to my house. I just
Yeah.
wear these all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Love Luke Skywalker, obviously, but not really a crazy fan about any of the depictions of him in the fake episode 9 or whatever this is, and the real one. It's a little like in this one, in this script, I felt like he was just way too cruel. Like he tells Kylo, "You're no Skywalker." Like you know, it's like I think Luke would have told him, "Be a Skywalker." I don't think he would have told him, "You are no Skywalker." Stuff like that, you know. And then
Yeah, obviously the stick did not work too well with Kylo. You know, might want to use that carrot, Luke.
Luke's like, "Well, yeah, you see, the thing is that boys and girls are different. I beat him with the stick." Luke, people are like, no, you have to understand, guys. He's older, you know. It's a different generation. Just
Yoda did it. He hit R2 with the stick, and that's what I did to Kylo.
that was my example. That's all I had.
Let go of my ego, Kylo. You let go of my. You know, Kylo apparently hogs all the egos.
All right, so nice Carrie Fisher painting here. Leia,
Like
at
the long
resistance
hair
base.
Jedi Leia. Like-
Yeah, and also liked the evoking of the white robes from A New Hope, but in a more mature leadership sort of way. Kylo kind of like when I look at it, I kind of go, I feel like it does feel a little bit hospital like in certain ways, you know. But I was wondering if they were going to move her away in the end from her general like costume and go more with like the um royal leader look. But that's my only like complaint about it. That doesn't feel I guess, I mean, you got Holdo, who looks like she's going to a gala when she fights the First Order, but Leia does get into like her vest and stuff. Like her like general outfits are much more Bespin-y, or not Bespin, Hoth like let's get down to adventure. But
Harry's complaint was they still wanted her to wear a bra.
yeah,
So she was like, ugh.
she's like I only wear a bra because it's where I keep my money.
She's like,
I worked at a
I've
liquor
heard all
store.
this.
Worked at a liquor store, and I have handled some disgusting money in my time.
I hate money. When people are like, oh, they're making us get rid of cash. I hate cash. It's so disgusting.
Yeah,
It's the very concept of you don't know where that's been.
it's true.
It's disgusting.
You don't know where it's been. It's been in a lot of disgusting people's bras. All right. With the Knights of Ren hot on their tail, Poe pushes the Falcon
Hot on her tail. Look.
into light
Hot on
speed and crashes into the ice planet of Webbit.
Oosh.
You think
This
it's
is like,
Webbit? Or you think
Y
it's like,
wings.
I think it's like Weve.
Wave.
Weve.
So like these look like Y-wing.
Yeah. Yeah, those just chilling in the ice. What's going on there? Yeah, it's
This
weird.
is actually the Matterhorn Mountain.
Pretty
So
much.
you better be careful, Ray. There's a Yeti around the corner.
I think Ray starts that fire in there, and then all melts and crushes her, and she dies. And that was the end of Duel of the Fates. They're like, you know what? We need to get J.J. Abrams back. We got no choice now.
When you duel with the fates, eventually you lose.
Yeah.
What?
No, it's you're not wrong.
That's the Wars of the Stars.
This is maybe my favorite one. Just if this had been done really, really well on screen, like being able to see like that Aurora Borealis galaxy looking shit in the back. I don't know what you call that. Cosmic stuff. It looks really cool. This would this kind of moment may actually work in a show like The Mandalorian with the volume. I could kind of see that being a really good place to shoot a moment like this. But the
I also
cruise,
think this is a good shot for 3D.
yeah,
You know, get that
For
real
sure.
scale. You know,
yeah, because you have like two things that appear to be in the foreground and the actual background, and then the people at the campfire in the front.
yeah, like with that's the frozen. It's the frozen stuff, right? So that they're all in frozen ice too, so it would reflect the stars.
Yeah, so this is second draft, right?
Yeah, Wave It is the second draft.
Yeah. I was like,
And the Wommels.
and the Wommels, yeah. I thought that was kind of interesting that the concept art isn't just from one era of that script for whatever reason. I think that's fascinating. What do we got now? Some more impressionistic city stuff. The crew flies to Bonadine, where Poe lived with his grandfather. So, yeah.
Never has this kind of scale in the movie. It's like all
Yeah.
right in on there, you know.
Yeah, that's like true. It does feel like scale is from the concept art and then into the film. When you see the stuff, it really does oftentimes change quite a bit. I wonder if like a shot like this would look like it was models, even if it was well done in the end. You know, like
Bro, everything looks like a visual effect when you hit a certain age. So I think this needs to look. The movies need a grander scope, and that's the one thing like I can say the prequels did well was expanding the scope of establishing shots, so you really knew where you were.
right.
When you're so close in on everything, everything tends to blend together.
Yeah.
So it could, I mean, and they're making it this sort of shot. I just feel like, you know, films, when you can pull a shot out and it can feel like a piece of art, then you've made something artistic.
Sure.
So
Yeah, like when I look at this shot right here, in my mind, imagine how it would look in the prequels, and all of that would have been a practical model with the guy kneeling down about as big as that thing to the left of the Falcon, you know,
Mhm.
and then they would
That'd be Aura
composite it in
Singh over
CGI.
here.
Right?
That'd be Aura Singh.
Looking at
How do I
they
know
always,
that name?
they always add like one because everyone was like, "Oh, this thing's going to be in episode 2, main character. She's emerging, bro. Going to be
She's
the
the new
hugest character in
Boba
all the
Fett.
prequels. She's the new Boba Fett, dude. Buy her a doll."
She's got a big ponytail. So 90s.
Yeah, right. Actually, that ponytail's pretty 80s. She looks like she would like wear a Wommel's t-shirt.
You know, speaking of 80s, I was watching for some dumb reason just the sequence of Moonwalker where he turns into a transformer.
Uh-huh.
And I forgot Joe Pesci has this like hairdo where it looks like a turd sticking out the back of his head. Like it looks like he has a giant exclamation point.
Yeah.
And Joe Pesci kicks the shit out of a little girl. Like he smacks the crap out of her. It's extremely brutal to watch.
To be fair though, he's the same size as her.
He is the same size as the girl.
So
Like,
it was a
they
fair
have her on
fight.
the ground crawling, so you can't tell. But like, if you take her and kind of go, yeah, same size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, we should get a girl singer, and we should start the first Star Wars band called the Wommels. I think that's the future of the Wommels. All right. Bonadine docking array. Okay. I kind of remember that described, I think.
Little Kishik in its design, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say too, the one above looks like Felucia a little bit. I mean, or at least the colors to me feel a little Felucia like, and the use of
What's
those
Felucia?
the planet where the blue Jedi dies in Order 66.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, the Twilight
Yeah,
with all the mushrooms.
yeah. Obviously, there's no mushrooms, but like just like the use of color in this
Right.
one feels like if somebody told me, yeah, that's a city on Felucia, I'd be like, oh, okay, they cleared out the mushrooms. They took them all and tripped balls for days, saw Wommels, and felt good.
Turns out the Wommels lit Kylo to get high.
Yeah.
Get like a 4.
He's all, Luke Skywalker told me to stop what I'm doing, so I'm going to now.
You ever watched that cartoon Drawn Together like 20 years ago?
Oh, that sounds familiar.
It was a cartoon that was like a faux reality TV show, but it was different cartoon characters, and one was like a Betty Boop character who'd cut herself. One was like a Link Zelda character, and one was like a Pikachu, and they would lick the Pikachu to get high. It's so dumb, dude.
Yeah.
It's a good show, man. Surprisingly funny.
All right.
I like those.
Yeah, and this is where you can see the Razor cells docked on Bonadine. This is where you can see where they got some of their stuff into the Rise of Skywalker, because this is probably where that, I don't know what you call it, that thing, that wagon that they ride on in that little chase sequence.
Well, there's the one on the desert, and then there's the one where they're actually riding one of these to go see the Death Star, right?
Oh yeah. You also, you have those those in the water sequence. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that whole chase sequence in the Rise of Skywalker, I feel like it's fun onto itself, but it really doesn't need to be in the movie. Of all the stuff that we get that doesn't need to be there, that's
Yeah, well, also being in that like cave that's the size of my bedroom,
right.
with so small, dude. Like it's so tiny. It's a tiny little cave.
All right, let's load up 33 more images. All right, so Chewie grabs the Knight of Ren, throws him into the air, shoots him out of the sky like a clay pigeon. That was our Duck Hunt moment, if you recall.
Yeah, boo, 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 and then he goes,
Yeah.
Or Hogan's Alley. Remember when he shut the cans in Hogan's Alley?
Right.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, like I like the idea. Does feel a little gruesome for Chewbacca, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it would have worked. I can't tell.
Well, now that Han's dead, he just goes all out. He goes balls out Wookiee. Like,
Nobody owns me. I own violence.
I got a life debt to violence now.
He's like, you have a life debt to me, and it's about to be cashed. Cash.
He's bringing in the 80s Arnold puns.
Your
But it's all in Wookiee,
your
so we don't know
body's
what he
writing
says.
text you can't Kashyyyk.
No.
Stupid. So stupid.
It's the perfect amount of stupid for this show. We're not above it.
No, not at all. Poe and Rey pilot a razor sail through the Bonadine waters, chased by the Knights of Ren and the Knife Nine.
Not a fan of that. That looks exactly like Batman's ship in Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, you know what I'm surprised about was that the ship at Galaxy's Edge was supposed to be the Knife Nine. So I wonder if the Knife Nine went through a lot of different changes.
It's crazy to me how a lot of these designs like carry over from different productions.
Yeah.
Like, did Ryan Church design that, or did someone else? Did that come from like who also worked on the Batman v Superman stuff? Like, it had to be because I don't know. It's just coincidence. It can't be some coincidence. I don't know. There's always like these weird design fashions that go around. Like, we'll have something that goes in front of the cockpit now, and it hangs lower. Like, it's just I don't know.
Right.
I'm not a fan of that look for some dumb reason. It's
That's-
like, imagine if like the front of your car like wrapped right in front of the windshield, like it wasn't lower, like where you had to be like, how do I see around the fucking thing, man? I don't.
It's like, I really need a ship where like two dudes could like, one dude is in the glass and the other dude could like put his hand up and the other dude puts his hands up. And you're like, fuck yeah, dude. Like
Man,
that's what
imagine
this ship needs to
these are rotators, and this would separate and it would pull back when they go into space, and then it moves forward when they go into attack position.
do. So we get through comics is all this Duel of the Fates content just does not quit.
No, and when Jason texts me and goes, "We're gonna keep going," I'm like, "Why?" You know. and then I wake up and he's doing his own show that has nothing to do with Duel of Fates. I'm like, "Oh motherfucker!" Like I see how this is. Like,
if you would have been awake, I could have used you. I was like, I don't know how to talk by myself anymore.
leaving you hanging, you know. I'm gonna go get a Figgy Newton.
Right, Rob? Right, Rob, where are you, Rob?
I should just call in from bed. Hey, man, what's up?
Somehow the Duel of the Fates content has returned.
It's Revenge of the Fates.
Yeah,
That should be.
Revenge of the Fates.
Oh, why didn't they just change the name to Revenge of the Fates?
We should have had every episode of this be like the Phantom of the Fates, the Revenge,
Attack of the Fates.
Attack of the Fates,
A New Fates.
Return of the Fates.
Oh, the Fates Strike Back.
Yeah, that's probably
The Fates Awaken.
That was probably going to be in the third draft. So, you know. Anyways, James says Chris Terrio said that the production was so far along that they were locked into certain things like the Death Star wreckage. Any insight on why Trevorrow was canned? Seems like it caused more chaos. See, that Death Star wreckage thing, I don't think that was ever. No, in fact, it was not. I read the final draft of the script, so maybe he was misquoted. I mean, maybe he lied, but I don't.
He lies. He sits on a throne of lies.
I'd have to see the actual like quote itself and to try to break it down. Maybe if I remember, I'll like look into it. But and then why was Trevorrow canned? The official reason that they say is that Carrie Fisher passed and their work was just too complicated to figure out after that. But as we saw, they did solve it. So that likely wasn't true. At the time, I'm not saying that this is correct, but at the time, I was hearing from one source that they wanted to change the writers. They wanted to remove probably Derek Connolly and have him try to work with a different writer. That wasn't really on the table. And then that's when things started to go south. And then they brought in the other writer who did a pass from scratch. And I don't remember the Death Star wreckage being in that draft. So I feel like the Death Star wreckage
such from that concept art that it had 7. To be JJ.
Yeah, it's from 7. So if they said that, you know, and then there's always a chance that it was locked in. JJ came aboard, said we're going to do that, and then Terrio came aboard, and Terrio believes that was from before JJ came aboard, and that wasn't the case. That could be too.
This is my Terry. This is how I do it. Don't step on it. That's the line. We don't cross it. No wommels.
So Jedi Dick Sensei, best. We are having some good ass names coming in this lately.
Only figure fans had me chuckling last night at 4 in the morning. Like,
Only figure
randomly.
fans. And
It's like
Jedi Dick. You guys should make a show together. You guys would. the Jedi Dick the Jedi Dick Sensei show, and then only figure fans could be the co-host.
So he's the sponsor, sponsored by Only Figure Fans. Right.
So Jedi Indy is losing it. And then he says, "You've become one of my favorite Star Wars podcasts. Thanks." Oh, thanks, Jedi Indy. I appreciate that, man. That's cool. Or lady, or they, or you. What's up, Mr. Tail? Missed you, dude. Haven't seen you in a few days, I don't think. If you have been around, I'm sorry for overlooking you, girl. I will never leave you again. Fury Fisher, why do they have our alphabet in another Why do they have our alphabet in another galaxy?
Why don't they all speak in briefcase? I don't know. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, and they it's funny because there's they changed a lot of it to Arabesh, but then X-wings are X's, Y-wings are Y's, and just gotta roll with it. What's up, Mr. Hamilton? Good afternoon, or it's good evening for you. Love the Duel of the Fates concept art way better than the script. Yeah, I mean, I always honestly probably love concept art better than the finished everything usually, in a weird way. But oops, I didn't mean to go that one yet. Zachary says, did the Red Stormtroopers appear in any of the drafts attached to Colin Trevorrow's version of the movie? And was there at any point Civil War within the First Order planned for episode 9? I don't believe so. On both accounts from memory. I did not get to take notes on the other draft. I wish I did. I wish I had the opportunity. Maybe it'll happen someday. But yeah.
Who was that guy, Jason? Who was that guy that got caught for going into the somewhere in the military records and wrote shit down on notes and put it in his shoes? You remember that story? 10, 15 years ago?
Oh, that was I could be wrong, but was that the last American to be charged with treason?
Espionage or something.
Or it was him, and then it was Johnny Walker, the American Taliban guy, I think.
Yeah,
maybe.
But you remember that guy?
Yeah.
And when you were writing down notes, that's how I imagined it. You're like that guy, traitor. Sorry.
Traitor.
Sorry, bud.
No, it was a lot more. It was a lot more like, have a seat, Mr. Ward. Mr. Ward.
One of these spoilers has a future and one of them doesn't.
Mr. Ward, if you do not follow the rules, you will end up at the bottom of a lake at Pinewood Studios. I was like, oh,
you
shit.
You can be MakingStarWars.net or MakingStarWars.com.
They will find your head on the set of The Mandalorian in Los Angeles, whereas your dick will be in Blackwood Park. Or in Black Park, next to Pinewood. Oh, shit. Okay, your rules. No.
Wow, man. Kathleen Kennedy has that knife from Cobra. Do you remember that? Remember that knife?
Yeah.
Scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Yeah. Dude, as a kid, I first saw the Cobra trailer, and for whatever reason had it in my head that it wasn't showing everything and it was the G.I. Joe movie. And I was
right.
I was super why isn't this a G.I. Joe movie?
I thought the same thing, actually. And then when I saw it, my dad, who was a big Stallone fan, was like, that was fun, right? And he made the mistake because from then on forward, I had to cut the pizza with scissors. And he was so pissed because I'd steal his office scissors and cut the pizza with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like Over the Top better, though. Up Top is pretty
I don't know. I like Cobra. I like Cobra better than Over the Top.
Yeah. I like them both. I like
his
them
name
both.
is Marion. How great is that? Marion Cobretti.
So Geek Furious's words, not mine, was Trevorrow was fired for being the type of pompous asshole who would release his version online to get Reddit karma. Oh well.
Reddit karma. That's our next shirt. Hold on.
I
We
want
got
to
to do it just like the Return of the Jedi logo. Reddit karma. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to. I mean, yeah, I can't really. As somebody who's released spoilers, I honestly don't do it for those reasons, but I can't pretend to be any better. So it's not our alphabet. It's a long time ago. We use their alphabet. Oh shit!
Oh,
Little M Night here.
ET's brought us the alphabet. True story.
John Conroe and Demon Accords. Zachary says, "With Saloni Ren, was Saloni Ren supposed to be the other apprentice of Snoke, and did she have her own unique lightsaber?"
It was Saloni Jade.
My takeaway was that Saloni Ren is a new character who is evil, joins the Knights of Ren, or is just one that we've never seen before, and then is the one who is the successor, to Kylo.
She's actually Saloni Ren too. The original Saloni Ren got killed on a rat planet.
Yeah, but there wasn't a lot about the character in the script. I have a feeling if things had gone forward, it would have probably been essentially what we saw in the script, and then there probably would have been a novel, kind of like how we got the Phasma novel. Kind of would have been handled in that way. That's just my guess based off of how they did things at that time. So, anyways, let's get back to the art. All right. This one right here is very Force Awakens with the way that Kylo is there and the way that the Star Destroyer or the crash thing is.
Very Batman Begins.
Yeah. So Kylo Ren approaches the Sith Temple on Remnicor, and I mean, I think you could even maybe make the argument that this visual leads to the opening of The Rise of Skywalker with the cube. I mean, if you kind of put that thing kind of together and turn it on its side, it's not too far off from the concept in certain ways. I might be reaching, might be stretching. I don't know.
Remnicor looks like Remnic crap.
Yeah.
It's all fudged up.
Yeah.
Looks like Antifa got a hold of this planet.
Jeez.
Look at the statues, right?
What is this? Is this Portland?
Yeah. Yeah, actually it is.
Where Antifa's going crazy? All
Sorry.
Right. Yeah. All right. So Kylo Ren approaches the Remnicor. Kylo Ren and his droid navigate Remnicor. This one's very dark. And then there he is. Cut from what we would have never have seen this in the movie. Tor Valum, because he was only in the first draft. Later on to be replaced with Snoke. A recording of Snoke, I think.
He came as a mighty Tor. Many Valums and Remnicor died in this lost day, I tell you.
it's the end of the line where he says, "I'll tell you." That sells the whole thing for me.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
They don't bring that level of acting back in the sequel. I did not like the sequel.
Yeah, people saw the new one, and sounds like it's a good sequel. It's
I like that it doesn't feel like a remake of any of the other films.
Yeah.
Like I'm not against even, the female Ghostbusters. I'm not against all that. It's just I'm against one rebooting. I don't like it when they go, the original films didn't fucking exist. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
And two, just don't remake the films we've already seen.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is like when you look at what Ghostbusters originally was, like I was kind of hinting about around this yesterday. It's about an American startup. It's people going into business together and they make a bit, you know what I mean? And how they deal with their clients and the crazy people who they meet. And then they happens to be ghosts and they're not plumbers. That's, at its essence what it was. If they hadn't had any money and it was their first movie, it might've been a movie about 4 plumbers, you know what I mean? And with those guys, like Stripes was, for military stuff or whatever. And, but
minus the Winnebago, right?
Yeah, and then part 2 is like a true sequel. Like here's the characters now, 5 years later, kind of thing. But yeah,
See,
when they
little known fact though, Jason, originally Iron Eagle 2 was Stripes doing that killed Bill Murray and everyone off at the beginning. And we were just stuck with Psycho and John Candy's character for the remainder of the film.
I would have liked that. I would have watched
Wasn't as
that.
good. Yeah.
I would have watched it. Though. All right. Yeah. I Tor Valum, it looks okay. You know, it's kind of neat. Could have been a cool
I want to
puppet.
see all the spider legs and stuff, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, you know, is what it is. So Kylo sucks the life force from a tree. So yeah, that stuff, you know, would have been interesting. Kylo inside a cave of Remnicor, as Tor Valum describes it, a virgins in the force.
A virgin, you say?
Yeah, this looks rad though. This is like visually very interesting. My only thing about it, I guess, is when it was realized, would it have looked really cool, or would it just have looked like a Final Fantasy cutscene?
Or
Well,
like
video
melted
game.
ice cream cones, like in Last Starfighter, you know, where all the rocks just look like melted ice cream cones.
Yeah,
That's where I have to give. Was it Gareth Edwards? Am I getting that right?
yes.
Do I have to redact myself?
No, you are the first director of Rogue One.
Yeah, look, I have my neural network. I'm learning. So he has such an eye for iconic visuals.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe like Gareth gets the visual impactiveness of the shots, like the Jedi temples. Even that one shot in the original teaser for Rogue One, where it's the reflection of Vader in the floor. You know,
Yeah,
like I think if Gareth had shot this, you know, they should have gave it to Gareth to direct. Damn it,
yeah,
he was a ball.
Yeah,
He
well-
played ball. You know.
yeah. I have a feeling
was
he may have just been exhausted by the whole
Yeah, I
experiment.
know. He's like, screw you, Rob. You know what it's like to work with these people? I'm like, I know. I've worked for some crazy corporations. I understand.
Yeah, no, I think it's a shame that the art of expensive music videos is dead today, because he would absolutely kill it in that medium too.
You know who's still doing music videos right though is oh darn. Oh, I'm screwing up what? Damn it. I can see it. 'Cause I just saw the music video for it with it's like Summer Rain or something like that. Whatever. I'll get the name later. But there are some people who are still doing them right. But yeah, I know what you mean, like that.
Overall,
like when was it Michael Bay or Fincher who directed I'll Do Anything for Love? It was like a famous director, was it?
Oh yeah,
I think it was Michael Bay.
Oh, that was cringy.
Huh? I like that Jim Steinman cringe, man. I like that.
Do anything for love, but I won't
I'm
do that.
I'm so bummed Steinman and Jack Black never teamed up. You know, like I wish Jack Black would go back and do a cover of Steinman's solo album, because I love that. I love it. All right. Yeah, but I agree with you. This is a good show.
Do our Star Wars version.
I would do anything for Wummels.
Because I guess the Jedi are allowed
Nub.
to love by proxy, Padme.
It's wicked. I would do anything for Nub. Right?
Yeah.
It's Yum Nub, losers. You stupid podcast.
Fake fans.
You fake fans. I'm gonna go back and watch the other shows.
Was okay. So, sorry. You know what? I maximized my screen, and Zachary's just right up here in our face. Just get out of our face, Zachary. God, you're cool, Zachary, but chill.
Time out, Zach.
Super Chino says David Fincher has directed some Nine Inch Nails music videos. And
Yeah, he was a music video and commercial director.
Said, did he do one of the monkey being crucified?
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
He's like, I beat Coppola. Coppola thought he had the market cornered on snuff films.
With horse heads. No. Yeah. Anyways, so this moment right here,
I don't like it.
I have to say, like I feel like by itself, and by the way, that shot of Vader's very Splinter of the Mind's Eye cover. It would have been really, really cool in a series that earned it. When I say I earned it, I don't mean it wasn't deserving because it was bad. I mean, I don't feel like they put in the effort to make this moment happen. I don't feel like there was enough to make this actually make sense. And if anything, I liked where they ended up taking the idea of the dyad, and it may have been more interesting to have juxtaposed both of these happening with Rey and Kylo at the same time, where she's fighting Darth Vader and he is fighting Luke Skywalker. You know what I mean? Like, because they were doing that whole thing with them swapping sides and that kind of shit.
Or they're both fighting her.
But if I recall correctly, and if I did not fuck up my notes, they cut that from the second draft. I don't think Darth Vader shows up in the second draft. So that was out anyway. Wasn't going to happen. They ended up.
Should have been Plo Koon.
I'm gonna be honest. When I saw the artwork for Plo Koon, I'm like, I would have loved for it to have been Plo Koon to show up in that moment.
He wasn't gonna look as cool as the art. It's gonna look like Plo Koon that you'd see at Disneyland. Like, oh, that one.
I wonder if today, though, if they would do a Plo Koon mask, or if there would sort of be like the digital like Plo Koon head and stuff or something to make it. You know what I mean? To make it, I don't know.
Head needs to come down 20%.
Down 20%.
It's just too big.
So Kylo fights Vader above the cave, and then it's First Order occupied Coruscant.
I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that shot.
Yeah,
that's an iconic shot.
Yeah,
but in the movie they zoom in on it and only get like the center.
Because we and this is one of the things, like I didn't get to talk about it with you, but there was this story that broke today, and it's that we might see Coruscant in Cassian, and if that's the case, since we'll be seeing it in the Age of Imperialism, I was thinking about this, and this shot reminded me of it. I was like, we've never seen like Star Destroyers like flying over the buildings on Coruscant. Like, what a striking and juxtaposed image that would make after watching the prequels for almost 20 years now. You know what I mean? Like, I hope they really lean into that, because
in the original draft of the Phantom Menace, it was originally called Coruscant, and it was the planet of smells.
Yeah, it was the stinkiest planet in the whole galaxy.
Yeah. It was like the stench, the bog of eternal stench of planets.
Yeah. It was like, we'll outdo Labyrinth, and whenever anybody walked, it was just
Chancellor Worm's just pissing off the ledge. He's like, "Oh yeah, Padme, so happy to see you."
Well, what it is that there's actually something wrong with the atmosphere of Coruscant, and it gives everybody explosive diarrhea all the time. So whenever you're there for official business, and people are like, "This is our culture. You can't say this is gross and wrong. We've always lived this way." And people
Dexter's Diner's kind of partly responsible for it, though. He like Poppy, he doesn't wash his hands.
Nope, doesn't do it. All right, what's the next one? Okay, so this is when the guy in the beginning of the first draft gets beheaded, and there's those Captain Phasma inspired troopers, which I would have been okay with that having been expanded out. But yeah, I was surprised Phasma was dead in episode 8. I mean, you see it and you're like, yeah, of course she's dead. But it wouldn't surprise me if she was alive. Would not surprise me at all. All right.
The head floats out in space and lands on BB-8. He pretends to be Phasma. It's just a Phasma head on BB-8. But people fall for it. Like, oh yeah, Phasma. And they just salute the ball and he keeps rolling.
Finn is captured and imprisoned in a work camp on Coruscant. So that's kind of cool. Jackhammer. Like, Finn's like, I'm going to do
Speaking of Ghostbusters too.
Yeah. Hey, what? I'm just doing my job.
A little help here? Nah.
Yeah, in that part of the movie when Murray goes, I let you work, why don't you let me work? The way he says it is horrible for Bill Murray. I'm always surprised that was used in the movie.
Oh yeah, the really New Yorkie.
Yeah, but like the way he does it, you can tell it's kind of a flub. But
he was not into that movie.
No, it wasn't. This is my favorite piece actually from it all. I just like it. I like it has scope. There's emotion, there's a lot of impressionistic stuff.
Sure. I also feel like in a world where they didn't build Galaxy's Edge, this would have been a redressed Swiss Family Robinson.
Yeah.
Thing where they just would have the cages hanging and go on Finn's adventure to save Coruscant.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, it really. I think maybe one thing about it that I'm mixed on is that it doesn't feel like Coruscant. If this was like a
No.
different place, then I think it's cool. You know, if it was the Swiss Family Robinson's planet of ropes and tree houses, you know what I mean, and stuff being pulled up on pulleys and shit. You know, could be neat
It's
though.
Robinson.
Yeah.
Robinson. Where's Dade? Maybe Dade's like under the camera. Like he's just down there. He's like, that's right. It's just the hand
Dade.
popping up.
I'm little Dade. Yeah.
We gotta go get him, Dick Tracy.
Oh, and I want to say, I think I don't like to pick on kids, but I don't like the
What?
use of kids. I don't like the use of kids in the Jurassic World movie, and they give him that fucking haircut that no real kid has, but a kid on fucking Full House or something. And
Right.
I hate it so much, and it sucks. It sucks. And that would have been Dade in this movie. You know it. He would have had that shitty haircut, and it would have sucked.
It's like that ponytail to one side that only appears in Napoleon Dynamite. Like
Yeah.
his girlfriend has it, and you look at it like no one dresses that way.
No, that was also a Full House hairstyle that only a girl in a sitcom really had for the most part. Watch, we're gonna get a bunch of people going, here's a picture of me with that haircut now. Or half the audience actually has that haircut and thinks it's cool, and also thinks Hanson is a viable band, and they're great.
Boom, bop.
I grew up with Hanson. Fuck you, man. R2 and 3PO roam the mean streets of Coruscant. So that looks more like that place Indiana Jones goes in Last Crusade.
A little bit. Also looks sadly like Syria.
Yeah, true.
By the way, I did grow up with Hanson, but Hanson sodas.
Right.
So they were my fave.
Hanson Solo.
Hanson Solani.
Oh shit. So Leia and BB-8, possibly Leia recording the hologram. That is for sure that part in the script when she records the moment, because it like literally even mentions it.
Stunt double had to do the kneeling
Yeah.
because of arthritis.
Carrie Fisher's like, when I party hard, my knees give out.
She goes down, crack, 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 crack. I'm already getting that. Lord knows she had to have it. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, she was of that age. Rose, Finn, 3PO, and R2 attempt to activate the beacon on Coruscant to broadcast Leia's hologram to the galaxy. So
very Bespin-y like, right?
It's weird. I didn't really look at this one very closely, and for some reason, my first impression of this was it was Rose being tortured and she was being saved by them, and I was like, "Wait, no, that's not what that is."
Right.
when I read it, yeah, that's very, very, very Bespin carbon freezy, right?
Yeah, real original, guys.
This one right here, I like the use of the like neon colors and stuff. That's one of the things that has, I think, been underused in Star Wars, is that kind of like I like how Cyberpunk like used a lot of this kind of stuff in it, the video game, regardless of how it played. You know, it had a lot of really great stuff to it, and yeah, and then the ATST on the top almost looks like it has the Japanese flag from the World War II Rising Sun flag or whatever.
Yeah, and it's got the T from the tiger.
Yeah,
the tiger plane.
But,
yeah, the Rising Sun though.
Yeah, I'm curious if I would have felt the same about, like I said, I didn't like the concept of everybody using the Empire stuff because it's like it's so symbolic, and I didn't know if it would feel right. And I'm curious if them having, you know, made it all Wicker Man to fuck would have made me feel different about it. But I hope it was going to be like the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man with the bees. The
BB's 8. Well, this one has a couple of wavy lines on the side, buddy.
So,
right there. I know you're like stressing over, should Rey have a double-bladed lightsaber? The entire Resistance using Star Destroyers and ATSTs. Yeah. So, you know, it's kind of the whole theme of the movie.
Yeah, the other idea that was being used around this time was in the Ragtag video game, is that they actually find a abandoned Clone Wars outpost by a crazy Republic general who's there with battle droids that he's turned into his friends. and he doesn't know that the war ever ended, and he's just waiting there. He's like that guy who didn't know that we won the World War II, like that kind of idea.
It's not just one guy. There were multiple
Yeah,
instances.
yeah. Actually,
But the one you're talking about was the famous one where he'd been out there for 35 years, and they had to go get his commanding officer who worked at like a bank.
Yeah,
and they had to bring him because he would only surrender to his commanding officer, and he'd been bombing citizens, like he was living in caves, and he had tons of ammunition, and I mean he was murdered up in that cave.
I think I can't remember what happened to his friends, but I remember his friends were like, "We think the war's over," and he's like, "No." I think he's like thinks they're like spies or something at one point, even like when he meets his friend.
Dan Carlin did a really good. Was it like it's a whole like 6-part series on the War in the Pacific, and the first episode opens up with that main story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, but anyways, the idea of them using Republic technology from when the world was more just would have been
Naboo fighters,
or even just the Clone Wars general stuff that the Clone Troopers used to use. If they found
the Clone Trooper stuff, yeah, that would be good call.
Yeah, might have been a neater visual to almost like it would have been like a Revenge of the Republic moment. You know what I mean? Like
they were going to use Moncal ship, but that ship breaks in 2 years. They're just very Sony-like in that way.
Well, yeah, that's why. Remember Admiral Akbar's voice? It's all like, "Oh, it's a trap," but he's like a sophisticated gentleman.
It's a credit trap. They just want you to rebuy the ships every 2 years. Oh.
When Kylo Ren sees Evil Ray, a vision of Evil Ray, that's where he hears it's a thirst trap. That's where he drops it in his ear. It's a thirst trap. Like, thanks, buddy, Admiral Akbar.
And he's all wet still.
Okay, so what's interesting too is, I mean, that front has been used in other things of the walkers in the foreground. But the ship at Galaxy's Edge looks a lot like that front right there, pretty similar to it, but without legs. So defected stormtroopers and Coruscant citizens cheer around old painted First Order walkers. So yeah,
they're holding the line,
right?
This is that Last Jedi shot, kind of redone, right?
Yeah, looks cool though.
Yeah.
Stormtroopers prepare for battle against Coruscant citizens.
What is this fucking building? This is just New York. What is that? Like, look at these buildings right there, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not Coruscant. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, they were probably just I wonder if like this artist would throw something like that in there and then paint over it. You know what I mean? Like, to add the style. I wonder if that's how they would do stuff. I don't know.
You can't just throw Japanese buildings.
Yeah,
it literally is like Tokyo or New York. Like, it's not. Come on, guys.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to the next one.
This one too. Like, this looks like a Chris Nolan set. Like
yeah.
Like, this one is an odd Coruscant, but all this stuff here is just
maybe
they're using stock stuff
level
here.
Like, yeah,
that looks like stock.
That's what I'm suggesting, is that they used, and that it would have been, if it had escalated to that, they would have actually done the work and not used Photoshop elements or something.
The artist hits me up, "Hey man, you got to do like 3 of these a day." I'm like, I get it, like
right,
whatever. Maybe they shouldn't.
But also, I mean, but if we are wrong, maybe it's simply the fact maybe they were going to give a different architectural look to the lower levels than what the upper levels have that you could see. You know what I mean?
The lower levels literally look like Baltimore.
Yeah.
Detroit. Where they shot The Dark Knight Rises.
It's like Coruscant is New York built on top of Detroit.
Right. Murder capital of the world. Right? Goonies.
Man. Yeah, after college, I won this. I don't know if "won" is the right word, but I won this thing to do Teach for America, and they sent me to Detroit to look into teaching there. Was not a place I wanted to teach. I saw a car get lit on fire when I was leaving my hotel.
Yeah, I've been there. I think though when you think of the lower levels of Coruscant, like if there's gonna be a ground,
Yeah,
that there would be no light. It'd be so far down there, everything
Right.
would be cyberpunky down there. You know what I mean?
for sure. Yeah.
So the fact that like this doesn't look like the lower levels. Sorry, my sometimes my wheel mouse wants to go.
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and
and that was the script literally like calls it like the Boulevard and stuff like that, which may evoke a couple of Macquarie paintings for Return of the Jedi on Coruscant, and that's how I imagine it when I read
those
it.
were the upper levels. That was on the
Yeah,
surface.
that's what I'm saying is
Okay.
that the script was showing was depicting that, and I wonder what the artist knew of the script. Sometimes the artists don't know.
Well, when they
everything.
start composing like Macquarie, I'll give them the Macquarie out.
For
So-
sure, fair enough. Yeah, this one's neat, but
I would like to see a Falcon chase through the buildings of Coruscant, especially
Yeah.
like upside down, inverted like this. That's cool.
yeah, I mean, really, like I think we like the two really good Falcon moments are in Force Awakens, went through the Star Destroyer
Gosh.
graveyard, and then the Last Jedi through the Great Crystal stuff, and Rise of Skywalker had like the light skipping stuff, but
I know.
yeah, no, I'm just thinking about the
know.
Falcon itself, and you know, I kind of could have used
The light skipping stuff is such a Star Tours thing for me. Like that's how
Yeah.
you get multiple locations in between the things loading, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Alright.
There's old BB-8. BB-8 flees from oncoming fire.
There's
the
looks
murderer.
a little.
Look at him! Look at him looking at you. Look at him. He's like he's gonna like I can see his head looking at Archer, and it turns and it looks right at you, and it's like, motherfucker, you're dead.
So creepy.
Coming for you. I'm coming for you.
You don't know where I've been, BB-8. You don't know where I've been. This guy's dead. This is like a World War
3PO
II
killed
helmet.
him.
Look at it. Look, it's
Yeah.
just like a.
3PO reached in and grabbed his entrails and pulled him out.
This is why I have a red arm.
All right, what else we got here? This is kind of cool. It's like kind of like a Republic drop ship sort of design.
Yeah, Clone Warsy.
Yeah, new resistant ship.
I wish they had just found Clone Wars tech and they were outfitting that versus the Empire stuff. I like that idea.
Yeah, that would have for like all the callbacky stuff that they were doing. I wonder if they would have eventually settled on that or come to that
That
to that
whole
idea.
war came to bite them in the ass, you know, like now we got your tech.
Yeah. The idea that the war that Palpatine generated the first time is what destroyed him. Very kind of Afghanistan-y in certain ways too, but certain
It's true.
ways. Yeah, this one's great. It's really sad. He's like, I killed him. I murdered R2-D2, my best friend. I'm like an elephant. Once an elephant knows it can murder somebody, it becomes a man killer and must be put down. I must be put down.
Or he accidentally activated the lightsaber in R2's head and just gutted him. No.
Oh,
No.
man. R2 saw too much war and just ended it himself. He's like, I'm
Look at the
done.
blood coming out to this tar.
Yeah,
Droid service droid goop.
yeah, Man.
That's grim.
yeah. That would have been a really, really interesting moment, you know, to have seen something like that though.
3PO's hands awfully large.
Mm-hmm. You know what that means? You ever seen that fucking Topps trading card? You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Wait, what does it say? What does the text say? In the Battle of Coruscant, R2 is destroyed. R2's head is scorched. What does that say? Emotion?
Emotion like we've never
never
seen
seen
before from
before.
3PO.
Finn is speechless. He is crushed by it all. Chewie takes R2's scorched shell onto his back. So Chewie does take the scorched shell. I thought
Yeah.
Finn took it for some reason.
Chewie
Anyways.
repairs R2 as 3PO observe.
He expresses concern over losing R2 to Leia. Leia inserts R2's memory bank. Ode to Leia, putting the Death Star planet, blah, blah. Yeah, this is all from the first draft stuff. And then, yeah. All right, let's go on to the next one.
let's
Yeah.
not revisit
Just
that.
more, it's like, explanations.
This planet I wish was in the movie. Look, it told you it's what dreams may come, right? Like it straight is.
Yeah. As they walk around the planet, the like seasons are constantly changing, and so yeah, that's essentially what it would have been. And they got rid of it from the second draft. That's
why when I'm like, oh, well, Rob, they got to do like 3 of these concepts a day. I'm like, why? They're just going to delete all your fucking work anyway. Like, I don't.
Well, the truth is that tons of it like ends up being reused and leads into other stuff. So part of me wonders. Well, I'm curious to see how much of the stuff that was done from these films, like this stuff, will end up giving us new shit. Maybe that's why we're getting such good planets in Bad Batch. Those Bad Batch,
wonderful. Like like all this stuff ends up as episode 11 in a cartoon that.
but if it collectively all elevates Star Wars, I'll take it, I guess.
You are a gentleman and a scholar.
I'm a shill.
Yeah.
You're a shill out shill.
Yeah, I don't get the $3 super chat, so I fuck them. Like,
yeah. Fuck you guys. Give me some super chats. No. Anyways,
Kathleen's like, damn it.
Oh man, she's all there. Went my Starbucks. Ray faces a monster outside the forest of Mortis. Okay.
Very rancory.
Yeah. Then we got Rey and Kylo Ren meet at the peak of the Temple of Mortis.
This is Macquarie-esque. I like this.
Yeah, it's very dramatic.
Yeah, I like. Look at this throne.
Is that like style? Is that brutalist? I'm not an expert on stuff, but I think
where it's very imposing.
Yeah,
I suppose. But look, there's a Superman logo, sort of. What?
Yeah, pretty much. Dun, da, da, dun, da, da. Rey and Kylo fight at the peak. Rey shows her gymnast-like legs as she prances like a dandelion. Sorry,
it fights on my tippy tops.
It does kind of
Jedi.
It does look like she's doing ballet in that shot. Also, her legs are doing ballet and her face is shitting. Just gonna be honest with you.
Does she do that classic Marvel move where every chick just jumps up and grabs him with her legs around his head?
Yeah. Yeah, and then you go, ooh, wouldn't mind if that was me right now. Right, Rebel? Yeah.
My life sucks.
So this right here, I wondered when I saw it, two different things. Is in the Clone Wars Mortis arc, Anakin Skywalker goes to throw or to use his saber on the father. The father grabs the lightsaber with his hand because it ain't shit to him. And then like you have like Luke doing that here. I wonder if that was inspired by that. And then I wonder if that was like, hey, let's put some J.J. Abrams ass shit with these lens flares. So, sorry, but Force goes.
That's some John Knoll shit, buddy.
Yeah, you've lost Ben.
You pay John Knoll respect.
I will. Sorry, Noli baby. No, I love you. I wish I could save you. Wish I could, but I can't because you're no Skywalker.
Yeah, I don't like that line either. Also, I feel like, look, this is an interesting visual that feels moot after The Last Jedi when Kyle's like whacking at him and he's not even there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what would be this? So.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't feel like it sits well with what came before. But hey, Episode 9's never cared about that before. All right, what's that?
You got me there.
Yeah, Yoda in the afterlife. It's just a composite of The Empire Strikes Back.
Here's Plo Koon. Right there,
what?
look, you can see. Look at the size of the head. It's coming down.
Hello, I'm Plo Koon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This one's the bug looking 3PO bounty hunter from Empire. Grendel 3PO.
Yeah.
This guy, this is Professor Xavier. He's on a wheelchair.
Yeah, this one is clearly just like a compositing shit. I'm not a fan of this one. It needed more work. This one
supposed to be purple.
Yeah. So I wonder if that idea wasn't decided yet, and they just said like, Jaw Hux killing himself, or if in the second draft they lost the purple saber.
It even says Hux pull out a purple lightsaber and commits it.
But yeah, that's because this person is probably quoting from that script. I don't know I don't know if this is the original release of the stuff or whatever. I just saw that it had most of it and it had
Jeff
captions.
Bezos back here getting ready to spaceball it out.
He's like, we put a giant dick in the back because that guy's always a dick and he's always compensating. So we figured a giant dick in the back would make sense.
It tracks.
Or no, it turns out it's one of those Disney guys hiding like wrong stuff in the back. That's just a giant joint.
It's the Little Mermaid guy. I'm back, guys. I'm back.
Hey guys, I totally hit a joint in Duel of the Fates.
And I did it in another Disney film.
This is Rey salvaging the Falcon at the end. It's cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. And then that I felt like I could be wrong, but wasn't this straight up like a piece of art you could buy at Target? And I'm not joking.
I haven't stepped in a Target in almost 2 years, so I couldn't.
No, I mean during The Force Awakens.
Oh.
I feel like this very piece I've seen before, but probably Jakku Ray instead in the eye. But
it's like the twin sons because he's got twin eyes.
Yeah. Old Modesta.
It's all green.
And then this right here is a Macquarie Return of the Jedi planet. I'm pretty sure there's actually a version where you see the skiffs from Return of the Jedi flying over a grass planet like this. But also
it's the classic paint daubs filter in Photoshop where you get these little black bits everywhere.
It does look like it does also look like a lot of the Naboo Phantom Menace or early art for Phantom Menace too. Rey arrives to train a new generation of Jedi on the planet Modesta. Final shot. So yeah,
it's Neverland.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I both would have loved something like this at the end, but also don't like how it sort of would paint in the future in a way like if they ended with this shot right here. Now, if they want to do anything else with them, they have to start here and they have to use this. And this sets a tone for the
you haven't seen any of the Batman sequels. Not only do you not have to do that, you don't have to have Vicky, you don't have to have the same house, you don't have to have the same city, you don't have to even have the same Batman. You can just keep moving along.
With Kyra Knightley as Rey.
Yeah. Hey, we can still pull that thread out. No one can tell the difference. Like people shockingly couldn't tell the difference between the actress from Rogue One and her, man. Like there were people who thought that was Rey.
Hey, one hot white lady, you seen one, you seen them all, they say. Yeah.
It's the affect.
Yeah,
so
right. No,
that's it, right?
Yeah, that's all of the art.
This would make a better movie.
So give us Trevorrow Ghostbusters where they are plumbers who steal an F-16 and travel back to the future.
So now you're getting it. You're getting it.
Too much mercury in my system today. And then Whisper asked, did Anakin bring balance to the Force in episode 3 or episode 6? Yeah, so Anakin brings balance in episode 6 when he throws Homeboy down the shaft, right? Luke Skywalker says that, for a time, balance was brought. And so Anakin does it. And then, but things fall out of balance again. And then Rey does, handles it. I started making some actual notes, actually, that I was going to use for an episode. But since you asked this now, I feel like I should just grab it really quickly. But because a lot of fans, us fans, when we talk about like the Force and stuff, and George Lucas, like we tend to grab onto whatever interview we like the best, and then use that as our reference point for everything. And you can do that. Yeah, and you can do that. But my favorite one, and the one I feel is probably the most honest, the one with the least amount of retconning, is the A New Hope Special Edition VHS when it came out. And Lucas says, which brings us to the 4 films, 5 and 6, in which Anakin's offspring redeem him and allow him to fulfill the prophecy where he brings balance to the Force by doing away with the Sith and getting rid of evil in the galaxy. That's the one where that's what he was saying when he was writing that shit. That's no looking back and trying to change anything. So
There's
and
gonna be no more evil ever.
and you'll hear people do not like the idea that Lucas, and like it sucks because some of the shit's lost right now. I'm not saying it's lost forever, but Lucas has used the cancer in the galaxy idea for the Sith a lot, and I also think when you listen to that and you look at the symbiotic relationship themes in the Phantom Menace, it's hard to not go, yeah, that's what he was saying. The Republic had cancer and it was the Sith that made the body imbalanced, and therefore there is a disharmony. And I think harmony is a very big key to all of this stuff. Is essentially they are a bum note and a beautiful chord, and they are bringing discord. So there you go, right? At least that's how I see it.
They have a toxic chat room that they're ruining the internet with. Oh,
pretty much, yeah, right.
Oh, you meant symbolically as
discord,
as a true artist would, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, but how do we deal with that in the sequel trilogy? Well, we just look at Luke saying that basically Ben Solo fell to the dark side, and then disharmony, it came back.
Couple ways I think they could have done that. One, again, it's called the First Order, meaning it should have been the original Order of the Sith or something. It should have been old and ancient that was waiting out its time. It's called not the New Order, not the next Order, not Order 272, the First Order. So like it should have been something primal. I just don't understand why you even call it that if it's not going to be used. Two, the idea that we chucked around the other day about Palpatine's ghost, being attached to the remnants of that Death Star. What if Ben Solo's a good kid? The info that Leia is Vader's father, and no one ever told Ben. And, like a angsty teen gets, I wonder what was like, and goes on a quest to find the remnants and gets not possessed, but seduced by the dark side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so like that Palpatine was defeated, but not, you know what I mean? Yes and no, so like the ability to that choice can also bring evil as well as choice can bring good,
Right.
And that it's just that there's other ways to deal with this that don't involve just echoing the story we already saw, off screen. Even we don't even see any of this shit happen other than a quick flashback sequence, that Ryan was at least generous enough to show us. But I don't know, man, like, again, it just feels like no one sat in a room and really thought it through. So
yeah, I feel like nobody wanted to explicitly say what this stuff was and be written into a corner on it. So
by the way, I did reach out to Jimmy George from the Blockbuster Screenwriters podcast, and Jamie's the one who wrote the author for Save the Cat Writes for TV, and I believe he's the screenwriter for Nickelodeon and stuff. So, and I was asking him about there's a primal like character arc that they boiled down to like 2 or 3 things. I know that people go, there's 7 character arcs. Like someone boiled it down even to like just 2 or 3. And so they said the 2 are confidence, like self-confidence is one. And the other one is learning to care more. The third one would have been, which is rarer, is learning to work with others as another. But really it's often a result of one of the first 2, setting aside insecurities or confidence, or just learning the value of others caring more.
Okay.
Like those are the basic primal character arcs. And like Rey has like a confidence issue, and learning to care more is kind of a Finn thing, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And maybe a Kylo thing, right? When you think about it, like doesn't have the value of others. Yeah. And I just think like when you really boil these things down to their most primal essence, like they should be doing that too. Yeah.
At my most primal essence, I'm a shill lord.
the shill lord, like an edge lord. I just shill everything. Funko's, Taco Bell, Manscaped.
So Chris wants at least an animated version. I do like the comic version. Someone did a bit though. Yeah, our buddy is doing one. If you check out the show a day or two ago, he stopped in and we interviewed him for a bit, and he's going to do an animated fan version of it. And so I'm looking forward to it. Going to be fun to see what he does with that, and maybe that will be the next time we do a Duel of the Fates episode, because I believe this is truly it. I believe this is it, you guys. I promise. I think it's over now. Okay,
we've brought balance to the Duel of the Fates.
Yeah, but I am getting close to crashing here. I could tell this thing is running like garbage for me all of a sudden. I'm going to try to mess with this tonight and see if I could get this handled. But for the true final time, I am going to play the outro, and we'll see you guys back here tomorrow, probably at 1 p.m. If nothing happens, that's when we'll see you. And
yeah, we'll be here complaining, like
we'll be here whining as adult men about space toys.
Fuck you,
Lab. Why don't you
16 more episodes of Bad Batch and only 6 of Obi-Wan? What the fuck?
I want a giant Duel of the Fates spaceship to put over my Coruscant model I made.
It's not about spaceships, Jason.
It's not about spaceships.
The Duel of the Fates. The Duel of the Fates.
It's not about spaceships.